Hey everybody, welcome back to Shop Dog Fabrication. So today, as you saw in the thumbnail, I kind of have a little garden in the backyard, just a small one, you know, some strawberries and some cucumbers and peppers, that kind of thing. So, you know, we decided, my wife and I, let's get a bunch of pallet wood and let's make some standing garden beds. Make it a little easier, and you know, we can use the dirt better instead of on those big buckets and containers to grow stuff. So I've got a stack of pallets that I've torn apart, as you can see here. These are all the same length. And then I've got this big stack of pallet boards, as well as some down here on the floor, you know, that I broke apart. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make mine about waist high. You know, I'm going to take about 2 of these boards high, maybe 3 for the beds, probably 3 high. There'll be about 4 foot roughly in length, whatever the length is, you know, the longer boards are there. And then I'll run the boards along the bottom as well, you know, to put the dirt in. So they'll be about 4 foot roughly, in around 42 inches, I think, is roughly what they'll be lengthwise. They'll be about 22 inches wide, and then about 3 boards deep. And you know, now granted, the soil won't be all the way up to the very top of the board. You know, there will probably be about 2.5 boards up roughly high when it all settles in and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you the tool here in a second that I use to break the pallets apart. You can obviously use pry bar and a hammer and break them apart that way, but I actually welded something up. I probably should have shown you how I do it, but I forgot to. So I will kind of demonstrate that here in just 1 second, and then I'll kind of show you what I'm going to do to make my own standing garden setup. Anyway, I can't speak. Anyway, let me show you how I broke the pallets apart, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do to assemble mine. All right, so you can see this is something that I welded together to break my pallets apart. I just had some scrap iron, piece of round tube here. It's about, I don't know, 36 inches long for a handle, a little, I don't know, 1x square, and just some, you know, bed frame angle iron, I think that was, that I cut and welded up. And then all I do is, now this is, you know, not bolted together right now, but basically all I would do is take this, slip it underneath like so, right? And then just pry up on it and pull the nails out. Or it will pull the nails will pull through the board, and then I'll have to use just a hammer or something, you know, to pull the nails out of the stud there. So that's all I use to break my pallets apart. Again, you can use a pry bar, hammer, whatever you have handy. Now this particular board is of roughly 42, 43 inches, something like that. But I'm going to make my working height at 36 inches. So I made my mark here, and I'm going to use my cut saw and cut that. And I'm going to make 4 legs out of 4 boards. These boards set aside are going to be 2 of them I'm going to use for kind of my base, if you will. And you'll see as I move further along what I mean. So this will be, I'll use 2 of them for a front and a back. And then I'm going to make mine 20 inches deep. So I'll basically take 2 boards and set them in between these 2, if you will, to make up a square or a rectangle, I guess. Out of these 2 front boards, make a 20-inch rectangle, and then I'll attach my 4 legs to that. And then what I'm going to do is cut these pieces as needed to kind of stack them up high, probably, like I said, about 3 boards roughly high, to enclose the box. And then I'll cut some of these boards, you know, at 20 inches to cover the bottom, if you will. So let me go ahead and cut 4 of these boards, create my rectangle, attach the 4 legs to the rectangle, and then we'll stop there for a moment, show you where I'm at, and then we'll start attaching the sides, and we'll start cutting the boards for the bottom and make the base. And that will be how I'm going to make my simple planter box. Guys, well, I didn't video it. You can see now, basically, I've taken my 2 long pieces, right? My front and my back, if you will. Here's my side pieces, right, that I've attached to kind of square up my box, or to make my, I'll say, the bottom of the planter box. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to I measured 7 inches at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to the outside here, like so, at my 7-inch mark. So the 7-inch mark basically lines up with the top here. All right? And so now with that, I'm going to square this up best I can, because, you know, this is just, you know, crap wood. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach all 4 legs now, same way with my brads, staple them in so they'll be nice and secure in here. I may actually pre-drill a couple of holes and put these in with screws to hold them together. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is I'm actually going to probably pre-drill these, put in some long screws so these are nice and secure to this. And then what I'm going to do is I'll take these boards, set them on the inside like this, and I will attach them to the legs. And then also on the ends, right, I'll come across the ends like so and attach them to the ends here, stack it and attach them like that as well. So let me get all the legs attached first. I'm going to, like I said, pre-drill a few holes, run in some long screws, attach all 4 legs. All right, guys, so you can see now I have basically a standing frame. I've got my legs all attached. I've got the bottom of the box in. And what I'm going to do is on the inside here, I'm going to put some scrap pieces in there. Like this is a scrap piece that broke. I'll set it in here like this, okay, so to block that. And I'm going to attach my pieces to the bottom like this. So that way I'll have, you know, 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches here. And then when I add my 2 sideboards there, you know, I'll be roughly 9-10 inches deep for the box itself to retain, you know, the soil. All right, the last thing I need to do now is put in my top pieces. So I'm going to do a double on the top here, 2 piece here, and set another one up there and attach it. Attach the 2 here, cut a couple for the ends and attach those, and then we're all done. If I have some left over, what I'm going to do is on the ends towards the middle here is add a cross brace across here, just so the legs are a little more sturdy on the bottom side. I'll cut a piece there and cut a piece on that end, right at, you know, maybe 6-8 inches off the ground, and run a cross brace, like I said, there and here, just to keep the 2 legs kind of tied together at the bottom as well. And you can see now when I was talking about how, you know, up here, you can see I've got these pieces, so again, the soil doesn't come out where those cutouts were, if you remember, and that's where I was able to attach these bottom pieces to as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and pop these top pieces in all around, and then I'll wrap this video up and show you what it looks like when I'm finished. All right, so what I ended up doing is actually, since these were already the nail holes from when they assembled the pallets, I just shot screws in those nail holes to secure them to the top. You know, I did the same thing on that end as well. So you can just, if you have some like 1 1/4 inch screws, like a coarse drywall thread, you can just run those in to your post right there and secure them real good. All right, everybody, and here's the finished product. So you can see, you know, from the inside here, right, we've got about 3.5 inches here. These boards are in the neighborhood of 3.5 inches as well. So roughly, you know, this is about 10 inches high here. My legs are 36 inches to the top to the bottom. I did 22 inches here. I'll probably do 18 with a couple other ones just because of the amount of wood I have. So there'll be actually 18 in there. And then these are 48 inches in length this way. So that's kind of the rough dimensions of this, just so you have an idea. Again, 48 inches this way, 22 inches this way, 36 inches this way. That's what I've done with mine. I did a combination of screws and brads with air gun, but you can do all screws. If you like, just make sure you pre-drill your holes before you run your screws in, otherwise you'll split the boards. on the ends. Right there, if you don't do that, you'll split those and, kind of ruin them. You won't get a good grip. I would recommend using a coarse screw so it gets a good bite into the wood, not a fine screw, but a coarse. And that helps a lot. So I used a combination of about 1 1/4, 1 1/2 size, as well as like 3" as well for these, when I was attaching the base, the legs to the base there. But once you start adding all these extra pieces, it really strengthens this up. Like I said a few minutes ago, the only other thing I think I'm going to do is, if I have some leftover, is add a brace here to here on both ends, just to help strengthen the, the bottom legs a little bit. So then what I'll do is I'll set maybe some cardboard or something here on the bottom, to kind of close up some of these gaps, at that point, and then just start filling this full of soil. And then convert my garden over from those plastic barrels, to more of a stand-up garden, which will be easier to maintain as well. So I have 2 more of these I'm going to make. So I'll have a total of 3 that we'll place over in the side yard. And we'll see what we can do this year for a vegetable garden. I know it's a little off topic for me, do something different. I'm more, a car guy, mechanical, but you know what? This was kind of a neat little project I thought I'd share with everybody. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful for you when you go to make your own, garden planter style box. It was a simple, easy project. I found the pallets for free sitting on the side of the road at a business. I try to find nice, clean ones that, aren't full of oil and chemicals and things like that. These that I happen to find, as you can see, are really clean ones, that I was able to assemble. Some of them had oak boards. Most of these are pine. The pine is a whole lot easier also to take apart than the oak ones. When they embed the screws, or I should say the nails, into the 2x4s, if you can find pine, it comes apart a whole lot easier than it does the oak ones. The oak ones, you're going to be busting nail heads off and swearing and, having problems. So I would definitely look for the pine ones. And then you'll have a mix of oak and pine boards, to make your bottom and your sides for them. So with that said, thank you for watching. You guys have a great day. Get out your shop, have a little fun. Thank you. And like I said, subscribe, hit the little bell, as they say, for future content. Have fun. Enjoy your summertime.